Thanks for being here. Credit to our opponent. They played their tails off. Outplayed us up front, I think. Just a little upset with the way we played up front. And got to get that fixed. It's always been a strength of Ohio State football, and it has been for quite a while. And they were coming on. So without making too big a deal of it, we got to evaluate that and play better as we get this stretch run here. JT Barrett had a sprained knee and came in and continued to do what he did. And even on the drop back passes, is either coverage sack or a pressure, and he pulled through a couple plays and made some great plays for us. So much improved on defense against a very quality quarterback, and Joe Bosa kind of at the end. And the thing about Joey Bosa, you get a sack like that, there's also interior pressure. You're not allowed to step up. So we'll take it, a great win against a quality opponent in one of the toughest environments that you'll have, and we'll certainly get on a plane tonight and regroup, but enjoy the win and regroup as we continue on.
Yeah, Coach, you guys over the last month have had some easier games, obviously winning by an average of over 40 points a game. Are you impressed with just the resolve your kids showed? I mean, this was all Penn State in the second half, and you guys found a way to pull it out in the end.
Yeah, I was very impressed. This team puts in a lot of work, and when they, I knew they were going to pick that side and go down in there. We played defense first, they go score, and then we had to come back. And that was one of the toughest, to see your freshman quarterback do that. And I actually pulled my ear off a couple times to hear it. You can't get louder. And let it up and get it done like that. They did a nice job.
Front row there, Todd.
Urban, when did JT sprain his knee, and did that change?
Right at the late end of the first half.
Did it change the way you guys would call plays?
Yeah, we tried to manage the game, and I didn't like the way we went about business in the second half, and we're not moving people, and then they start teeing off on you. That's kind of felt like what's happening. We have good skill, we couldn't get them the ball, so we got to reevaluate a bunch of stuff we're doing.
Do you feel lucky to get out of here with a win since? I mean, given your.
I don't use that term luck. It's like I never call someone and say good luck, because why do you work? I say good luck and go home early tonight, put the rabbits foot in your pocket and things work out. We don't do that. It's not luck. It was a tough game. Penn State's a very rugged defensive unit. Boy, did they play hard. And if we would have not turned the ball, if we would not turned the ball over and took care of business, then see what would happen. But that's part of the game. We didn't play very well.
Far left here, Clay.
How gratifying is it to see JT kind of come full circle? Some are going to fault him for those mistakes. The pick six that kind of gave the momentum, and yet in the overtime, when it looked like you were dead to rights, he's the one that gets it done.
Yeah. Well, that's, I would have to imagine, I remember when I went to his home visit, and you see the quality of people, his best friend, family that's so close to him, excuse me, and his family. You see the way that kid's raised. He's a tough guy, man, that just does things right, and usually people that do things right get rewarded.
Far right to the white.
Coach, JT really his confidence is getting better and better each game. And how pleased are you with that? And first of all, in this environment, as you mentioned, one of the toughest ones you can play in, and down in overtime, he comes back and ties the game and ultimately wins the game for you.
Well, the confidence got a little rattled there in the second quarter, and then obviously the third quarter, the opening drive, I think, was a pick six. And that kind of environment, that allowed, to say he was walking around like a extremely confident quarterback in the third quarter, that wasn't the case. But once again, just the way this kid's raised, and I just have so much admiration for people like that. That just, I can imagine the way he was raised, just you can see the way he was performed. I remember seeing him and Tom Herman talking about him when we went down to see him in Wichita Falls, Texas. But he wasn't overly confident in the third quarter, but I'll tell you, at the end of the game, to go make a play, he did it for us.
Far left here, Tim.
Urban, two quick ones. When JT went out there for overtime, did y'all talk to him about probably the keeper off the option was there, or was that just purely his running, his calls?
I'm trying to think which play, keeper off.
Well, he had like 36 yards rushing in the two overtimes.
Oh, was that right?
Yeah, he scored
Yeah,
both touchdowns.
a couple of them were scrambles though.
Yeah.
We would drop back to pass and he put his foot in the ground and went. And we're fair. I don't have all this. I don't know. Catch me.
Yeah.
kind of razzle you.
I just wondered, before you went out there, if y'all talked
But
about it.
it
yeah.
wasn't direct runs with the quarterback, and I don't think they were options, to be honest with you. I think they were pass plays that he scrambled.
Well, he seemed to fake. Anyway, the other thing, to see Bosa come off, big play, I mean, just talk about that play a minute. I mean,
The
it
end
seemed
of the
like a
game?
will play.
The end of the game?
Yes.
Yeah, I just, once again, I'm at field level, so I just saw him beat a guy around the edge, and the quarterback couldn't step up in the pocket. And that's when you have good interior pressure, and that lets your defense end go play. So, not that, discarding anybody else, but you kind of expect the way how good a player Joey Bosa is, you kind of expect him to go make a play to win a game. That's how talented he is.
And last question, Doug.
When you talked about wanting to manage the game, and even with JT's injury, was the play calling too conservative in the second half to try to put it away?
There were some throws in there, and we were trying to take some shots, we just couldn't get it done. And I know you got to watch the film. I have more answers for you, I think, on Monday or Tuesday, whenever I talk to you guys. But I didn't like the operation of the offense in the second half. We just got to get that fixed.
And you guys had some communication issues, it seemed early with the crowd. Just overall handling this scene, you're going to have another scene like this in Michigan State in 2 weeks. How did you think you guys handled the crowd?
We better worry about getting better in certain areas next week. Don't worry about that one.
But just going on the road in a big environment, did you handle it okay? Or
I'd give us really good. I mean, we had a couple mistakes, but that was real. And overtime, I just go back to the overtime. I stared at a young team out there on offense that was 7 points down facing that student body. And they found a way to put it in the end zone. So, you know what those were, a couple reads.
Yeah.
Those were.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice call, Tim.
I know, but I mean, did y'all tell him it might be there, or was it just purely him?
It's a play.
Yeah,
It's just,
yeah.
You don't tell a quarterback it might be there. It's
Right.
just, yeah, that's what we practice all the time. Thank you very
Coach,
much.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Thanks, Coach.